It's spring. Huh. I'm at one of my favorite spots, and it's very close to my parents' house and where I grew up actually. Let me show you. It's right down there. So this is a sort of mountain that's right above my parents' house, and I love coming up here because I can basically see my entire childhood from up here, which is really cool. I can see my old school from when I was a kid over there, and that's the grocery store I've gone to my entire life, and this is the river I grew up swimming in, and I still do that, and I fish in it now too actually, since I picked up fly fishing like 2 years ago. You've got the football field behind our parents' house where I've spent hours and hours playing, and right above that, you've got the tennis court where my friends and I would go ride our bikes because the surface was so smooth, but then we get yelled at by the local painter who maintained it, which makes sense. And in the woods over there, we built a really nice tree house, and right next to it, we had a racetrack for our bikes where we'd go bananas until one of my friends flew into a tree. But yeah, good times. Having a little mountain next to your childhood home is such a cool perspective. You can just sit here and see your entire town and your neighborhood and just reminisce about old times when you were a kid, which is really cool. I love that. But enough about this, let's head back to camp. It was actually my friend Daniel and I that made this spot like 7 years ago at this point, and I just love coming here. I've used this spot for work quite a bit as well over the years, but don't tell them that. It's obviously not super deep into the woods or very off-grid or anything, but I kind of like that. It's sort of close to home, if you will. So sometimes I'll come here just to think or have a cup of coffee, or like today, to welcome spring. I think it's really important to have a safe space in nature. Just somewhere where you can return to time and time again and feel really comfortable with the surroundings and such. It can be deep in the woods or it can be in your backyard. It doesn't matter, as long as you have somewhere to just go and sit in nature for a bit. Listen to the birds, you know? See a deer in the distance or watch a plane go by in the sky, thinking about all of those people up there having no idea that you're down here just living your best life. I'll be making a fairly small fire today because I don't like what the wind's doing at all. But on today's menu, we've got sourdough toast, which I've kind of cheated and prepared at home. And after that, we're gonna make some coffee. And since we are in Sweden, it is mandatory to have a pastry with your coffee. I don't make the rules. which is so good. Could have melted the cheese a little bit more, but that's okay. And here comes the sun. Wind kind of died down completely, and so did the fire, which is fine because I'm gonna make my coffee with one of these twig stoves today. I think they're fun. We're gonna need twigs, kind of like these. Nature. I challenge anyone to get out in nature. Even if you're the biggest city person in the world, I truly believe that anyone would love to just sit in nature for a bit. And you don't need a lot. You don't need the mountain ranges of the Alps. You don't need the highlands of Scotland or the Grand Canyon. I love those things as much as the next guy, but you don't need all that. All you need is a little bit of forest and somewhere to sit. And a cup of coffee helps a lot too. You can make it yourself or get a takeout. It doesn't matter. As long as you have yourself a coffee, sit in the woods for a bit, I think we're all gonna be good. Well, that's it for this time. I hope you've enjoyed watching and maybe feeling inspired to get out in nature yourself, perhaps. I strongly recommend it because it's always worth it, in my opinion. But yeah, thanks for watching.